Leila, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It's amazing to see you.
Me too.
I remember when you first came into treatment. How old were you then?
I was 14.
So you were a teen.
Yes, I was. Yeah.
And so that's not easy. And here you are.
Yeah.
Tell us what you're doing right now.
Yeah. So I'm 20 years old now. I'm in college. I'm going into my senior year of college, which is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and your major?
I'm studying psychology.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, no.
Do you know what you want to do with it yet?
I'm not completely sure yet. No. I think I'm going to take a gap year before grad school and hopefully work in the field somehow.
Oh, you know where to come.
Yeah, I know.
We are here for you.
Yeah.
We would love to have you. So let's talk about, before treatment, what did people not understand about what it felt like to have SM?
I think just because a lot of people don't even know what selective mutism is, like I was diagnosed later because I had no idea what it was. My parents didn't know. It's just, I think people just think you're shy or quiet or you just have to talk, just do it kind of thing, where they don't understand the deep layers of anxiety that you're feeling and all the thoughts that go along with it, and the importance of comfort, and that you're not comfortable in certain settings. Pushing them is not the right thing, and that there's a lot more layers to what you need to figure out before you can be comfortable to speak.
No, it's really articulate. You are a very articulate young lady.
Thank you.
So I've never asked you these questions, but sitting here with you, I feel like I have these opportunities. So you came as a teen, 14. Yeah. When you were coming to get treatment, what were you thinking that day? I never asked you this. Were you nervous? Obviously nervous. Every person's nervous, but what were you thinking?
Yeah. So I was super nervous, obviously. I think I was just unsure at that point. I had this new diagnosis and I was like unconvinced almost. I didn't know much about selective mutism, so I'd been anxious my whole life, and I just thought, oh, it's just anxiety. That's what people told me and stuff like that. So I think I was really unsure and I had no idea what to expect, really, what I was going to be told or what the solution was going to be. So I think I was just ready to see, but unsure.
So you were open?
I was pretty open, yeah. I mean,
I remember that.
Yeah, at that point, I feel like I really wanted there to be like some kind of answer, because I felt like I was just this anxious person my whole life.
Like when you, prior to treatment, because you did amazing in treatment and look at you now, what are the words that you felt like when you were in school? What is it you couldn't, because you could talk in situations, but what is it you really wanted to do that you couldn't?
Yeah, I could not express myself in the way that I wanted to, or the way that I saw other people, especially I was in high school. So like making friends, I really could not make friends in school. So yeah, if I was talked to, I never went completely mute. I was able to answer questions, but I couldn't express, like it wasn't me, the kind of thing. And I also just had a lot of anxiety behind it. I worried so much about what I sounded like, what I was saying. I thought that there's a lot of anxious thoughts of, do I sound silly, or is this awkward? And so I felt like I wasn't able to be me. Even though I could sometimes talk, it was like pretty paralyzing. And I also became really good at avoiding situations.
What types of things did you avoid?
Yeah, anything where I had to really talk.
I knew you were going to say that, but
no,
because you love poetry.
I do like writing and stuff like that. Yeah. So I like writing, and I've always found writing to be like a way I can express myself. So that if I could, I would sit alone, kind of things in high school. If I wasn't someone who would interject to be like, hi, I'm Leila, nice to meet you. I wasn't doing that.
So other teens sometimes tell me that it makes like their confidence overall. You knew you were smart. You knew you could do these things. So I'm just so glad to see you, just such a confident young woman. You have the rest of your life ahead of you, and your parents are awesome. I remember meeting you during COVID. Yes. We all had masks, and it was like, I just want to see your face, and we all put them down real quick, and then we put them up when we first met. Do you remember that?
I think a little bit.
Yeah, I remember that. I guess you answered this, but in your words, what was the hardest thing about living with SM?
Yeah, I would say for me, the friends aspect, especially because like in high school, that's obviously a big thing. You want to have friends. You see everyone around you seems to have friends and be living like these like a great like high school like experience, and I felt like I didn't get that because I like struggled to talk to people. So for me, that was like the hardest. I felt like the loneliness was like the hardest for me because I just felt like alone. And when I came to CommuniCamp, that was like the first time I'd ever met anyone else with selective mutism. which was really cool. But it just like when I wasn't around, I felt very alone and like people didn't understand. So that's like what was hardest. But yeah.
That's right. You went to CommuniCamp.
I did.
I remember. I do, but it's like I look at you now and this is what you want families to understand is that you can overcome this and reach your capacity. I mean, I think back when we met, I remember in my office where you sat, where your mom and dad were, and I remember you coming to camp, and I remember the looks on your faces, and now to see you just so bright and just so confident, it just honestly, it's just an indescribable feeling for me as someone that worked with you to see you, because I knew you had the capacity and I knew that you were going to get there, and I thank you for doing the work, because look at you now.
We'll get back to the episode in a second. You're exhausted from advocating, explaining, and hoping someone finally understands. Well, we do. Consider CommuniCamp for you and your family. CommuniCamp is the Smart Centers intensive all-day treatment program designed to help children and teens ages 3 and up build social communication confidence. Over the course of one full weekend, your child or teen receives 15 plus hours of expert-led skill building, while parents receive 15 plus hours of training and support. Our clinicians use Dr. E's evidence-based treatment, SCAT, that's helped thousands of individuals find their voice. Here's what matters. Unlike other programs, your child or teen doesn't need to talk to come to camp. We meet them exactly where they are. Visit the link in this episode's show notes to learn more. Stop waiting for your child or teen to grow out of it. Make it happen this summer. All right, let's get back to this episode.
So, can you remember a moment when you realized you were actually making progress?
For me, like at the start, it was almost like the little things that I could tell. When I started to plan out interactions and do that stuff, I realized that, oh, like this actually works, and I was getting more comfortable. And because again, I think when I came in, I was like, I don't really know, because I'd been to therapy for so long, just not really with people who knew what selective mutism was. So I was a little unconvinced that there was going to be something new that would work. And
a lot of teens say that. They come in already, all right, the 15th doctor.
Yeah.
Are you serious? I don't have any belief this will ever work.
So I didn't think that there was anything like different for me. But then when I applied the things that like I'd learned, it was working. And
what are some of the things that you can remember that you did in the beginning that really helped you?
One thing that I knew off the bat, like I just had to start doing was like ordering at restaurants, because that was something that was like lower anxiety, but I just sometimes was like, I just don't want to do it kind of thing. So I had to start to like, push myself. And then I would go into stores a lot. That was a big
But we did the script approach.
Yes. I would write down like what I was going to say, or like I'd go to bookstores a lot and I'd write down the name of the book. So I'd ask, can you help me find this book? And then sometimes it would be like my mom would start the conversation.
Yeah, she was your intermediary in the beginning, and we planned.
Yeah.
You used visuals, and your mom had to ask a choice.
Yes.
That was the simple method, but you then began to completely initiate on your own.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So talk to me about CommuniCamp. Before CommuniCamp, what did you feel?
I was like, I feel like on the surface, I maybe looked more like uninterested, because I was 16 years old and like it felt embarrassing to go to a camp like this. But underneath, I do think I was hopeful, because I wanted it to work. And I was really wanted to be different. So I think maybe like on the outside, tried to be like cool or whatever, like a regular like teen. And I remember like having friends at home, because I live a little farther, so I had to stay at a hotel. Like it was awkward to be like, yeah, I'm going to CommuniCamp. Like, how do I describe that? But my friends who were close to me know me, so they understood. But it was like this weird thing. But I was hopeful. I wanted to try, and again, meeting other people my age with selective mutism was really cool. I was excited. Underneath, I feel like I was not happy about that I was like doing it, because I felt like weird as a teen or different, which is hard in general, but especially when you're that age. But I was hopeful, because I wanted to be like to change.
And so when you were at camp and you met others, what did you feel then?
Eye-opening, I guess, because like the nature of the camp they were at, like I wasn't talking to those kids a lot. I guess I was like just with them, like observing other kids, and there's also just differences. So I saw things that I didn't know. Oh, some people experience it this way or that way, which was interesting for me. And it was just nice to see other people my age, because genuinely I'd never met anyone.
And you were working on strategies together, and you realized you weren't alone.
Exactly. Yeah. And I saw, people my age struggling with like the same exact thing as me.
That's kind of comforting.
It was, yeah.
That's something called social identity, when you realize, wow, I identify over this, and it's helpful because you like realize, wow, I'm not alone in this.
Yeah.
So what was your big takeaway from camp when you came? Like, what are some things you left with and thought about?
I think I had a lot more confidence and motivation. Again, the feeling not alone was really helpful, and I realized the place that I was in and that I had strategies that I would work if I just put in the effort. So I think I had a new motivation to, I can get past this. This works, and I just have to put in the effort.
So if you had to talk to another teen or another family with selective mutism, what would you say?
Yeah, I think I would want to give them reassurance that there's a lot of hope, because in general, it's really scary. And then when you're a teen, it feels like you're like, already being a teen is, there's a lot there, and it's a hard time for literally anyone. And then you have this thing that you feel like nobody else understands, and that you're just never going to get past it. It's really hard to get out of that fixed mindset. But I would reassure them that there is hope, and you're in the right place. If you found the Smart Center, like, the strategies work, and it might be a different journey. It might be slower than you would hope, but it's really worth it.
How has your confidence changed?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just way more confident in general in myself. That was because my anxiety behind speaking was a lot of self-consciousness. That was like a big thing that I had to realize and work on, was like being more confident in myself and knowing that people weren't judging me, or that I could be myself, and that people liked me for who I was. So now I feel like I still have social anxieties, but the confidence I have in myself allows me to talk still, even when I am anxious.
Yeah, there you go. Confidence is such an important pillar to fuel everything else.
Definitely.
You're just so inspirational. What would you tell parents whose child is struggling right now?
I would say to try to listen to your child and be there for them. I think it's a really hard spot. I definitely sometimes would get into arguments with my mom or feel like she was pushing me, but I know she had good intentions. So I think it's important to listen to your child and give them grace and push them where it fits, where you know that they can do, but don't be too hard, because it is a journey and there's no race or need to push them to insane levels or anything like that. So I think have, grace with your child, and also celebrate them for who they are, because most likely if you're their parent, they're comfortable around you. So you know who your child actually is, and their fun side, their outgoing side, and what they're like when they're comfortable. And I think it's important to celebrate those moments and show them this is who you are. You're not who you are when you're shut down.
Amazing. Amazing. What would you tell another child or teen with SM who feels hopeless or thinks they'll never get better?
I would tell them that I understand that, and I felt that way a lot too, but that there is hope. I would try to reassure them and tell them that that's a really understandable place to be, but there are ways out of it, and there's things that do work and things that you can do. And whatever your journey looks like, it might be different to find what works for you, but there is something.
If you could go back and talk to your younger self on the very first day of treatment, what would you say?
I would tell her to have hope. I would be like, I'm awesome now. I would reassure her.
I love that, Leila. You're amazing. I knew when I met you. I knew it. But I'm so glad you believe it.
Yeah.
You know, so much of this was getting you to believe who you were.
Yeah.
And I knew you knew inside, but now the whole world can know you for who you are from all that you've blossomed. So keep on your journey. We're here as you go into the field of psychology. Think of the Smart Center.
I will.
And we love you being part of CommuniCamp and helping the families and being on the panel and helping the kids. So thank you. Thank you for listening to Unspoken Words, a Selective Mutism podcast hosted by me, Dr. E, and the Smart Center. This episode and all episodes of Unspoken Words is produced by New Edition Productions. Don't forget to submit any questions you have from today's episode using our Ask Dr. E form on our website. Just head to selectivemutismcenter.org/ask-DRE. I'd love to answer your question in a future episode or blog post. Remember, for the best of this episode and every episode of Unspoken Words, please follow the podcast on Instagram and YouTube. We are at Unspoken Words _podcast on Instagram and Unspoken Words by DRE on YouTube. Or join our newsletter for additional SM content. We release new episodes every other Monday at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you next time.